Dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss about structures in C. Imagine a scenario where you want to print the student details like the student's ID, which is of the type integer, the student age, which is of type integer, student name, which is a string, student address like street, state, city, and country. So all these are string data type. So my question is, can I go for an array to store and print all these datas of a particular student? Yes, the answer is no, because we know that array is a collection of elements of same data type. Printing the student details will have a mixed data types like integer and string. So here comes the difference between this array and the structure. So array allows elements of only similar type, whereas whenever you want to store the data of dissimilar data types or different data types, we have a structure in C that supports this feature. So array elements, we know very well they occupy continuous memory location, whereas the structure members will have separate memory allocated for each member. Array is accessed using the subscript or the index, what we call, and which begins from the index 0. Structure members, we use two operators like dot and arrow mark symbol, and array is mostly useful in the cases like sorting and searching. Structure can be used like printing a student mark sheet or an employee salary slip, printing a book details in a library. Like wherever you have a mixed data types, you can use structure data type. So the syntax of array is the data type followed by array name and the maximum size for which you want to allocate the memory. And structure, you have to use the keyword structure followed by structure name, and inside the curly brackets you have to define all your structure members. So the formal definition of structure in C is, it is a derived or user defined data type. We use the keyword struct as I told you earlier. It is a collection of different data types. One example taken here is a book. So a book will have a title which is of the type string. The book will have an author. Again, the name of author is again going to be a string. The price of the book is going to be double, and number of pages of the type integer. So here, instead of using 4 different variables, these values can be stored in a single structure variable. So the key features of using a structure is it allows multiple data types in one unit, like what we have seen in the previous slide. Instead of going for 4 different variables, we can go it or store it with a single name called a structure variable. It reduces the memory usage by organizing the related data. It improves the code maintainability and clarity. Structure can also be used in a function, or it can be passed as a parameter, either call by value or by reference inside a function. Array of structure can be used whenever you want to store like multiple book details or multiple student details or multiple employee details. Instead of one structure, you can go for array of structure. This is the syntax of declaring a structure. Keyword structure to be used, followed by structure name. Here the structure name is book, followed by curly bracket, and followed by declaration of all your structure members. So here we have 4 structure members like title, author, price, and pages. So once the members are declared, you have to close the curly bracket. Followed by that, you have book 1, which is what we call it as an structure variable, a single name under which this 4 parameters like title, author, price, and pages are stored. So how the structure variable can be declared? Either in the previous slide, we have declared once the structure is initialized, or inside the void main, you can declare a structure variable with the following syntax. Keyword struct followed by structure name followed by structure variable semicolon. So the structure initialization, so it is done by placing the values of each element inside the curly bracket. So either using the assignment operator equal to, you can directly give or initialize the values to your structure members, or during the runtime using the scanf function, you can read the data from the console and you can store it for your structure members also. This is a complete program that shows how the structure is declared, how the structure variable is declared, how the values are initialized, and how the structure members are used or accessed using the dot operator. Yes. So inside void main, the first line denotes book1 is the structure variable of the type struct book. Learn C corresponds to title. Dennis Ritchie corresponds to author. 675.50 corresponds to the price. And 325 corresponds to the pages of a book. So how to access the structure member is, the syntax is structure variable dot structure member. So if you look at the next four printf statements, you will have book1.title, book1.author, book1.price, book1.pages. So book1 is the structure variable and dot is the operator to be used, followed by structure member, whichever you want to access. So in C program, corresponding control strings like percentage S to be used for string, percentage LF to be used for double, and percentage D is used for integer data type. The size of function will return the total memory occupied by this structure. It is nothing but the sum of the memory occupied by the structure members. Nested structure, we know structure within a structure is a nested structure, or a structure which contains one more structure as its member is what we term it as a nested structure. If you look at this example, we have a structure called outer structure employee. So employee has a name, salary, and date of birth, but date of birth again has date, month, and year. So you have two structures here. The outer structure is employee, the inner structure is DOB. Yes. So D1 is the structure variable for the innermost structure DOB. So you are creating the structure variable E1 for the employee in the very first line of your void int main. So Kiran belongs to employee name, 25,000 belongs to employee salary, and since the date, month, and year, it belongs to an innermost structure, one more curly bracket is given to indicate that it is a nested structure members. Okay, same like we saw in the previous example, how to access the structure member is structure variable dot operator followed by structure member name. But here D, M, and Y, it belongs to the innermost structure. So the syntax to access the innermost structure is outer structure dot inner structure variable dot the structure member. So if you look at the last printf, you will understand. So in order to print the date of birth of an employee, you have to give the control strings percentage %d, percentage %d, percentage %d as all the date, month, and year are declared as integer. So you have E1 dot D1 dot D, outer structure variable dot inner structure variable dot inner structure member. Yes. So the next important thing is how the pointer is related to a structure. So we know very well pointer holds the address of a variable. So in this case, pointer is going to hold the address of the structure. Yes. So first thing, you need to declare a pointer to a structure. So the syntax is, since it is a pointer to the structure, which structure should be mentioned clearly. So keyword structure to be used, followed by structure name, followed by asterisk symbol to denote that this is a pointer variable, followed by a pointer variable, semicolon. So we initialize an address using the ampersand symbol. So here structure pointer is equal to ampersand of the structure variable book1. And whenever a pointer is used in a structure, arrow mark symbol to be used to access the structure members. Same like your dot operator. So if you look at the same example, the book example is taken. You are declaring a structure of the type book where it has title, author, price, and pages, ending it with a semicolon. So inside the void main, you are declaring a structure variable called book1, which means you are going to store and access only one book details. Yes. And in the next line, you have a pointer variable for the structure. And in the next line, you are storing the address of that variable to the pointer variable. And the corresponding next 4 printf statements, you are printing the structure members using the pointer variable strptr and the arrow mark symbol. So to make it very clear, structure members can be accessed using dot operator, and it can be accessed using the arrow mark symbol also, but arrow mark symbol can be used only if pointer concept is used. Thank you, students. In next class we will discuss union NC.